Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's fantastic you are here. Well, this is video 2 in the two-part video series on music legend David Bowie. Last time we looked a little bit more about him as a performer and the different stages of his career and how he would change it up every now and then. And in this video, I'm going to look a little bit more at his legacy, at what made him so important in the world of music. As I talked about last time, we're going to start with his music. So there were 27 studio albums, 21 live albums, 46 compilation albums, 28 video albums, 128 singles, 68 other compilations, 12 box sets, and it list just goes on and on. It's estimated he has sold around 140 million albums, making him one of the most successful ever. And there's a string of gold and platinum releases in amongst those albums. Many commentators have talked about David Bowie and how he brought sophistication to rock music. There was an intelligent depth to his music as well, and he wasn't scared to try every conceivable genre you could try. David Bowie wasn't part of a genre. David Bowie is a genre. Now, David Bowie was consistently fighting some demons, certainly some addictions and some other issues. But instead of this overwhelming him, he actually turned it into a strength that would define his career and make the career as breathtaking as it actually was. David Bowie is an absolute original, artistic chameleon guy that would always change things up. And for that, music was forever changed because of David Bowie. Now, some awards that he has received. He's received 6 Grammy Awards. There's a bit of a start. There's been a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's been 4 Brit Awards. In fact, the Brit Awards actually even gave him an Icon Award. There is a significant award from France in 1999, the Order of des Arts Letters. This is an award given to those who have significantly culturally changed the arts in France. Just this goes to show the reach that David Bowie has had. He received an honorary doctorate from Berkeley University, the prestigious university in the San Francisco area. And interestingly, he was offered a CB Order of the Commander of the British Empire, which he actually turned down because he thought, that's not the reason I do music. I do music because I love music and I love to create. So there we go. He could have been a CBE if he chose, but he chose not to. Now, Rolling Stone have actually talked about David Bowie a fair bit. They talk about the fact that they put 5 of his albums in the 500 greatest albums to shape rock music. 4 songs have been put into the 500 greatest songs of all time. He is the 39th of the 100 greatest artists of all time. And some of his songs have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for their significance, cultural shaping significance in the world. This is not just me saying this stuff. There are many people who have said this stuff, and Rolling Stone, which is such an iconic magazine in the world of music, to give him all of those accolades just shows what was thought about him. Now, the world was rocked when David Bowie died 2 days after his 69th birthday. Such a surprise and a shock to everyone. And the world just kind of paused that day for a little bit, just to the passing of such a compelling character in the world of music. There will never be anyone else quite like David Bowie. He is an original. He is timeless. He is unique. And for that, the world has ever been thankful. He wasn't scared to change his look to meet his persona. He wasn't scared to bring it to his audience. says he wasn't scared to show the world that it's all right to be unique and original, because the world actually does appreciate that sort of stuff very much. So I think the challenge from today, as it was with the last video, is let's not be scared to be ourselves, to find out what it is that makes us so unique, and how we can shake that up to bring it to the world, because the world will certainly take notice and be appreciative of it. David Bowie was a breath of fresh air, that is for sure. And sometimes people go beyond words, and David Bowie is certainly one of these guys that has done that. Well, on to the clips. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the song Modern Love as well. Now, this came off the 1983 album Let's Dance. This was an iconic album for David Bowie, very much in the pop period of his career. And Modern Love is a bit of a balance between love is just really, really good, but it's a little bit confusing at the same time. I give it a go, it doesn't work, and so therefore we forget about it. We put it on hold for a while, and then we'll come back to it eventually. Love, by its very nature, can be confusing when you're trying to work it out and trying to understand what it's all about. And I think we all sort of struggle in this area a little bit. We think we might have love sorted, and then something happens and we think, oh, perhaps not quite so much. Because interestingly, love is patient and kind, right? It's not the love that changes, it is relationships which are hard to work out. Relationships are all trying to get to this thing called love. We don't always get there, and we're left feeling a bit confused. I think maybe the thing to look at isn't so much, the relationship and the other person, but maybe look more towards our understanding of what love is, and whether we've tried to understand it a bit more than what we did with our last relationship. Because everything, even bad stuff, can be turned around to our advantage if we choose them as learning experiences. And we can think, well, yes, there wasn't something very nice there, but maybe there was something also that I didn't do right that maybe I could do better next time. We've got to treat all of these things as learning experiences, otherwise they overwhelm us in the negative. So that's the challenge of today, and to bring in, I suppose, David Bowie a little bit here too, that the best thing we can do in love is to be ourselves and to gradually reveal who we are to the other person, and hopefully they'll get taken along for the ride as we get taken along for the ride with the person as we discover more about them. So Modern Love is a great song because it just talks about the complexity of love, the complexity of relationships, but the mystery of it at the same time. Modern Love has been hailed as a very significant song. It was the fantastic, awesome power pop song for the opening of the Let's Dance album of 1983. Such a breath of fresh air when this song came out. And David Bowie was saying, hey guys, here I am, here's another album, let's get to it. I thought I'd actually, also while we're looking at the Let's Dance album, I thought I'd actually would feature Let's Dance again from that album. This is a live performance from the Glastonbury Festival in 2000. And in typical David Bowie fashion, we just don't get the start to Let's Dance. We get a little bit of a groovy, classy stuff beforehand. And he just introduces a new facet of this song, perhaps a little bit more reflective, but then we get into the full-blown thing a bit later. So that's David Bowie in all of his creative glory, singing live to a bunch of people in a crowd that are absolutely getting into him big time. Now, we also have to feature a collaboration with Mick Jagger in 1986, Dancing in the Street. Now, this single was actually released in 1985 as a further fundraiser for the Live Aid project that Bob Geldof was part of. And so to see these two icons of the British music industry get together is a real treat indeed. Now I've got a little bit of a treat for you with the clip for this one. We have a live version of these two guys singing. And yes, at the start, that is Paul McCartney introducing these two guys, and there's all sorts of people in there. I think I can see Mark Knopfler in there. I definitely see Elton John on the piano. So it's a who's who of British rock. I'm not sure what the event was, but hey, how cool to see such talent on stage all at the same time. So we've got a live version of Dancing in the Street, and I thought just for a bit of old time's sake, let's go for the official clip as well, to see Mick and David just hammering it up, and of course they are dancing in the street because that's what this song is all about. And finally, there's something I quite like about this song, Absolute Beginners. This was a song that came out for the movie of the same name. Wasn't such a big hit, this one, but this is such a great song. And I've gone for the official clip of this one, David Bowie in the whole coat and hat thing. Another one of his images. Just goes to show off his artistic side just that little bit more. So the links to all of those songs are in the description below. Just reacquaint yourself or relive the David Bowie moments. There's certainly enough there to go on. And you combine that with my video from last time when Ziggy Stardust got in there and a few other people, just goes to show that he certainly has been someone not afraid to shake things up all through his career. So if there are any of the David Bowie's family watching this, my deepest condolences to you, and I don't think you need to be told just how significant he has been in the world of music. But I suppose from a guy that certainly met him in the 1980s more than the 70s, I certainly have appreciated the wealth of talent and artisticness this guy brought to the world. So rest in peace, David Bowie. And I trust this video series has been an encouragement for you as you consider what it is about you that makes you unique in this world. Well, that's it for today. If you have come back for another video, or if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, thank you very much. You're always very, very welcome. And thank you very much to hanging around to the end. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to, and oh, by the way, I have included, just before I finish, my last video from David Bowie. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, speaking about British artists, we're going to go on to another David next time as we work through the Davids in this series, and that's David Essex. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.